Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first Pat's Pulpit pregame show of the 2017 season. We're here today to talk about the New England Patriots taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. I am Rich Hill, and with me, as always, is my good friend Alec Shane. Alec, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, buddy. I am not in a jail cell, despite the blank gray wall and the immense echo in here. I just moved apartments. I am sitting here on a fold-out chair and a fold-out table. My TV's on the floor. I've got no food. I've got nothing going on, but the game will be live, and I will be watching it instead of putting together furniture, and I'm okay with it.
Life sounds pretty good right now, then. Can't complain. The season started.
That's right. That's right. And new apartment, new season. Super Bowl champions defending their title starting tonight at 8:30 against the Kansas City Chiefs. I cannot wait. Week 1. This is the start of the season. The banners are going up. The presentation of the trophies. Roger Goodell is going to be there. Apparently, he's leaving early. You reported that earlier today. What are your initial thoughts on this game, Rich? Patriots Chiefs.
Well, I just want to clarify this, too. I got a nice little email from the NFL. I just wanted to clarify what Roger Goodell is going to be doing tonight. So he will be on the field for the pregame celebrations, and then he's just going to go off somewhere else. He'll be in the stadium for the entire game is what the point was that they wanted to get across. Goodell will stay in the stadium. He just won't be visible. So take that for what it's worth.
Wow.
But for the games to actually start mattering, big piece of news today, though, is that Malcolm Mitchell has been placed on the injured reserve with his knee injury. He's been battling it for pretty much his entire career. He suffered a couple ACL injuries while he was at the University of Georgia, and he's been nicked up. I mean, he was nicked up last year as a rookie, and again this year he was kind of limited the entire summer. Then I believe it was James O'Shaughnessy who rolled up on his leg on kind of the very first snap, I think, earlier in the preseason. So Mitchell is now on the injured reserve. He is eligible to return in 8 weeks, but there is some pretty interesting fallout on this one. The Patriots have promoted Ted Karras from the practice squad to join the active roster, and this also means that Philip Dorsett is going to be active this week. They acquired him 5 days ago, and he's already going to suit up. And so, Alec, what do you think Philip Dorsett is going to do for the Patriots this year?
This year overall, I think he won't be much of a factor this year. Maybe a handful of plays. The obvious and early comparison is what Michael Floyd did last year. He came in against Miami, had a monster game and a monster block. I don't know how familiar Dorsett is with the system, how much time he's really had to integrate with Tom Brady, but obviously the receiving core, luckily they're very deep because they lost 2 key pieces very early. And I'm sure this Malcolm Mitchell to IR thing has been simmering, percolating for a while, which also led to that Philip Dorsett trade. I'm just wondering with Kansas City, the way their defense is, which we can talk about in a minute, how they like to get pressure on the quarterback, how they're pretty stacked at every level of the defense. This is the kind of situation where a lot of quick outs will probably be the name of the game for Tom Brady, a lot of option routes, a lot of hot reads, and a receiver that's very new to the system. I don't know if he's really built to fit into this particular offensive game plan tonight,
Yeah, absolutely. And the way that Dorsett has been kind of marketed is that he doesn't really run too many routes other than go routes. And I know that Evan Lazar at Pat's Pulpit, he wrote a little bit of what Dorsett brought to the Indianapolis Colts offense and how the Colts didn't actually utilize him, how Andrew Luck didn't look his way, even though he was open. And so hopefully he can eventually develop into a bigger role in the Patriots offense. But I have this prediction right now is that Brandon Cooks and Chris Hogan are going to be the receivers that carry this offense. There's no question about it. The Patriots will limit Danny Amendola's snaps to probably third down inside the red zone, those high leverage sorts of plays. I think that when you watch the Kansas City Chiefs defense, they don't have their cornerbacks shadowing any of the wide receivers. And so Marcus Peters, who is their all-pro cornerback, he lines up on one side of the field at the start of the game and does not leave that until the final whistle. I think that the Patriots are just going to say, you know what, Philip Dorsett, you line up across from Marcus Peters at the very, very start of the game, and you just run down the field every single time and just gas him out. I think that's, if I were Josh McDaniels, that's what I would do, kind of eliminate Marcus Peters from the game plan and just wear him out. Maybe it'll open up some things down at the end of the game, and maybe Dorsett will get open once or twice, and Tom Brady will be able to take advantage of that.
I mean, I personally, as somebody who has enjoyed the Patriots-Colts rivalry over the years, if Dorsett has like 3 touchdowns today and Jacoby Brissett is their third-string quarterback, that would be really sweet. But again, I just don't know how effective he'll be. And if he gets open, he's a burner. Brandon Cooks and Philip Dorsett both have 4.4, sub 4.4 speed in the 40. So it's definitely available. Obviously, the Chiefs have a good secondary and have good safeties. they have good defense overall. And so your point about him running a lot, doing a lot of go routes, do you think it's going to be primarily a passing-based offense tonight, or are they going to run the ball a lot?
I do. I think that there will be a lot of passing just because I believe in the defensive front of the Chiefs. I think they have a lot of talent with Chris Jones. I think he's very good. Justin Houston should finally be healthy. Dee Ford is an up-and-coming pass rusher. Then you bring in Derek Johnson as the inside linebacker. That's like a bunch of very, very talented guys, maybe not any real world beaters. They added Benny Logan, who's one of the best run defenders in the league. I think that if I am Bill Belichick, I'm going to say, I'm not going to waste my time running up the gut on this defense. Instead, maybe I'll try and throw some swing passes to James White out in the flat, just kind of soften up the defense a little bit, bring the linebackers, make them a little afraid of playing at the line of scrimmage, and maybe that'll eventually open up some run opportunities for Mike Gillislee down the stretch or for Rex Burkhead. But if I'm starting the game, I'm going to just throw the ball into the flat, see if the players can make the linebackers miss, because looking at this Chiefs defense, if I had to highlight one big weakness, it's going to be at linebacker. And I'm not talking about edge defender. They're very, very good and solid there, but their middle linebacker and their 3-4 defense, they have Derek Johnson, who suffered an Achilles injury in December. So he's still, we don't know how he will be performing this year. And they don't really have too much else. Ramik Wilson is their projected number 2 starter, but their linebackers are not great. And so if the Patriots can isolate James White against, Derek Johnson coming back from his Achilles injury, or against Ramik Wilson, or even, soften up with some of the tight ends up the middle, I think the Patriots are going to focus on that center of the Chiefs defense and just try and move the ball that way.
No, I agree with you completely. There's a lot of talent at linebacker for the Chiefs, but not a lot of athleticism. I think coverage mismatch is the name of the game today. And I think that the running backs are going to have a field day with Brady motioning. No one's better in the league than Tom Brady at motioning receivers out wide. The Chiefs have the defensive ability to get pressure with 4. They definitely do, and that's Tom Brady's kryptonite. If they can get guys at the middle, they can drop 7, make him throw quickly, get him rushed and pressured in the pocket. But if those running backs are able to motion out wide and cover the line, get covered against the linebacker, should bode very well for them. And it kind of plays right into that New England Patriots game plan hand of the quick release, quick out. I think Edelman would have had a field day today if he was healthy, unfortunately, but he's not. But that's going to lead me to my offensive X factor. X factors are back for 2017, Rich, and I'm going with Rex Burkhead today as my offensive X factor for that reason you described. I know James White is the go-to mismatch coverage guy, but Burkhead really flashed as kind of a slot receiver, move running back, and I think they can be really creative with him, especially if he's able to get going early by running the ball. They'll open up a lot of play action, a lot of audibles, a lot of disguise formations, and he should have a big day if he can get that coverage mismatch from the linebacker.
That's a really good one. I think that Rex Burkhead could have a big contribution. The Patriots have to like his ability to both run the ball, block, and catch out of the backfield. He offers it at a level that none of the other running backs do. There's a chance that Dion Lewis could be the guy out of the backfield just because he has that quickness. He can kind of jitterbug his way through that defense. If I had to choose one X factor, we can't use Rob Gronkowski. And if he's his typical Rob Gronkowski self, then he's just going to change the game. If I had to choose one person, though, it's going to be Nate Solder at left tackle. He's been dealing with an injury this entire preseason, didn't participate in the games. He's expected to contribute and to play. A real chance that he's not going to go whistle to whistle. And we saw how the Patriots kind of eased the players back in at the start of last season. Shaq Mason had his broken hand. He started off as a 25% player in week 1 with Ted Karras playing 75%. And then they just kind of increased his snaps back until week 4 when he was a full-time starter. I could see them doing that with Nate Solder right now. But the Patriots don't really have great depth at that position. Cameron Fleming's dealing with an ankle injury. Adrian Waddle's coming back from a head injury. And so a lot of pressure could fall to Cole Croston, that undrafted free agent rookie that the Patriots made a surprise addition to their active roster. So we'll have to see how that plays out. If Nate Solder is 100% ready to go and plays 100% of the snaps, that could be a really big change for this Patriots offense. And that's why he is my X factor.
I like it. 2 big dudes are X factors today. And you talk about the offensive line. I think it's not a secret that if the Chiefs are going to win tonight's game, Patriots are undefeated when the home opener against the Super Bowl champions. However, this is actually the exact same day, September 6th, 2008, against Kansas City when something happened to Tom Brady that I'm not going to talk about anymore.
That's spooky.
Yeah, I'm not going to put any more juju out there. But if Kansas City is going to win, they're going to be able to get pressure up the middle. They're going to pressure Tom Brady early. They're going to hit him a lot, force the game to be very low scoring, and maybe hit some home run plays with Tyreek Hill and their, I think, personally inferior offense. That's the only way I really see Kansas City winning this game. They don't have the offensive firepower to match New England, so they're going to have to win it with their defense, maybe some big plays and special teams and a Tyreek Hill long bomb, which he definitely has the speed to do, especially if he goes up against a cornerback like Malcolm Butler, who's very susceptible to the fake routes. He's very susceptible to guys getting burned. He can jump on that. So hopefully Stephon Gilmore is on Tyreek Hill. But how do you see the Patriots defense matching up against Alex Smith and the Chiefs offense?
It's a really good question. So when you look at the Chiefs offense, as you said, they just don't have the manpower to really make it a shootout. You know, Alex Smith is the most conservative quarterback in the league. He doesn't throw the ball. The Chiefs ranked last in the league last season at throwing the ball 15 plus yards down the field. He'd much rather throw it short of the first down marker and hope that his receivers can generate a first down with yards after the catch. And when you combine that or lack of desire to challenge a defense vertically with the fact that you have Tyreek Hill, who was a 600-yard receiver as a rookie. He added almost 250 yards as a runner. He's a very, very versatile player. He's expected to contribute a lot more in his sophomore year. Then you got Travis Kelce at tight end. They don't really have too much else other than those two players. And the Patriots, in the way that they always do, they're going to focus on taking away Travis Kelce. I think we'll see a whole range of different types of coverage. Patrick Chung did a really good job against Travis Kelce back in the playoffs of the 2015-2016 season. I believe he was targeted 6 times and allowed just 12 yards in total. Travis Kelce had another catch against a different defender, but Patrick Chung just locked him down. I could also see the Patriots designating Stephon Gilmore in coverage of Travis Kelce a few times, just because that's how Rex Ryan and the Bills used Gilmore against Gronkowski a few times in the past. And there's, of course, Eric Rowe as another player that the Patriots have been grooming to kind of play on the interior. I could see him providing some value against the bigger tight ends in the league. This could be a great debut for him. So the Patriots are going to focus a lot on removing Travis Kelce from the game, and that puts a lot of the pressure on Alex Smith connecting with Tyreek Hill. And if I'm the Patriots, I'm going to say, as I know that I threw Gilmore as a name to cover Travis Kelce, I would say that I would like Gilmore to be the primary coverage of Tyreek Hill due to Hill's speed. And because Malcolm Butler is very, very susceptible to the double move, I would hate to see Malcolm Butler out there just bite on one of those quick head fakes and then Tyreek Hill score an 80-yard touchdown. The Patriots cannot allow the Kansas City Chiefs to hit any home runs on offense. And if the Patriots can do that, and if they honestly, I would just designate Deron Harmon or Devin McCourty to sit over the top of Tyreek Hill every single snap. If the Patriots can limit Tyreek Hill from making any big plays, I don't see a way for the Chiefs to put up a lot of points.
Along those lines, Rich, you talk about the home run play, the 70, 80-yard bombs to Tyreek Hill to give them a score, put them up, and allow them to a little more dictate the flow of the game. I think if the Patriots are able to dictate the flow of this game, Kansas City doesn't have a chance. However, if they can't get those big plays on the receiving end or on special teams, that will give them more of a shot to do so. And obviously, one way to stop Tom Brady is keep him off the field with long, sustained drives, the ground and pound, the quick outs, the Chad Pennington-style offense, if you will. Can Kansas City do that? Spencer Ware is on IR. He's gone for the year. Their next guy up is Charkandrick West. He's not a great running back. He's a good one. And after that, they have very little depth at the running back position. So is there any way that the Kansas City Chiefs can run the clock out with a strong rushing game today?
Not really. And they actually released CJ Spiller this morning. Rookie Kareem Hunt is expected to be their starting running back, 3rd-round pick. I don't know. He's a do everything back. He theoretically has the potential to run, to catch, and to block, but he's a rookie in his first game in the NFL. And I feel like that is putting a lot of pressure on that rookie to say, this is week 1 of the regular season. Here are the defending champion New England Patriots. We need you to win us the game. I feel like that is just a lot to ask of them. I don't see much success doing that. And if they do have an ability to move the ball, I think it'll have to go with the other wide receivers. I think that Chris Conley he's He's a fine number 3 receiver that the Chiefs have asked to play at number 2. He's a big body out there. Albert Wilson is kind of an invisible slot receiver. The Chiefs don't really ask them to produce too much. And over the years, it's because they've been able to have some success with the running back out of the backfield. Andy Reid loves having those players, whether it's LaShawn McCoy or Brian Westbrook. He loves relying a lot on these running backs, Jamal Charles. They're able to generate the entire offense. And so Kareem Hunt should see a lot of opportunities, but in his first game, I could see the Chiefs flipping the script a little bit and saying, we're going to rely more on the players that have more experience in our system. I just don't know if it'll work.
Yeah, I know something else we got to think about is this is the kind of scenario, as you mentioned, you hinted to earlier in the show, the Patriots are going to probably focus on Travis Kelce, take him out of the game with Patrick Chung, give a safety help over the top of hopefully Stephon Gilmore and Tyreek Hill, which means somebody is going to rack up a lot of yards. Usually it's the Jason Avants of the world that just eat the Patriots alive for some inexplicable reason, but he's no longer on the team. So it's going to be one of those guys you just mentioned, those nobodies that are just getting 60, 70, 80 yards and 12 catches because the Patriots are dictating the offensive flow toward that game, which is actually why my defensive X factor is going to be Eric Rowe today, the third cornerback. He's going to have probably some shifting duties. They're probably going to move him around to whoever is most dangerous after the Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce combination. And hopefully he'll be able to limit whatever that second, third receiver is and make sure the Chiefs are forced to go to their inexperienced running back, the short options, and let their linebackers, which I think is one of their strongest units defensively, to clean up there. So I'm going with Eric Rowe, my defensive X factor.
That's a good one. And when you look at the Chiefs offense, they have the ability to kind of flex players inside and out. There are a lot of moving pieces in there. And if they can generate a mismatch, the Chiefs, as I said, they have home run ability if they're able to do it. If they take that risk, they can theoretically do that. I really believe that Eric Rowe is a good, solid cornerback, and the Patriots have used him last year to match up against the A.J. Greens and the Julio Joneses of the world. He did a really good job. I think that Chris Connolly could be the guy that he matches up with, and I think that's a solid match in the favor of the Patriots. But as I was saying, maybe they'll put Eric Rowe on Travis Kelce. That would be a really interesting matchup to see. I think that Rowe gives the Patriots a lot of flexibility on their defense, and I'm really curious to see how they do that. Keeping up with that flexibility, my X factor on defense is going to be Dante Hightower. And similar reason to Nate Solder is that Hightower is coming back from an injury. We really don't know if he's going to be a 100% type of player or what type of role he'll have in that defense, but it's to dictate the pace of the game. They need to be able to stop that Kansas City Chiefs rushing attack behind that pretty solid offensive line and whatever Kareem Hunt ends up being. And I think Hightower in the middle, setting the tone, is going to be very, very important because he's the team's top linebacker. He's arguably the best defensive front seven player that the Patriots have. And for all else that is equal, I think that Hightower is going to have to make a few big clutch plays in order to shift the tide of the game in favor of the Patriots early on.
Do you see Dante Hightower playing more along the edge tonight, or they shift him back towards middle linebacker where we've seen him in years past?
That's a very, very fair question. I believe that they'll use him at the line of scrimmage just because how we've seen the team use Harvey Lange during the preseason. The Patriots probably envision Hightower playing a very similar role as that fifth lineman in the bear front, or the outside linebacker in the 3-4, and the flexibility that David Harris and Kyle Van Noy offer in coverage makes me believe that they're more likely to be the off the line linebackers. And so Hightower should be up towards the front. If the Patriots go into their nickel and they have a 4-2 front, I wouldn't be surprised if Hightower played in the middle with Kyle Van Noy and they took David Harris off. I think that Harris is going to essentially be the replacement for Landon Roberts in this Patriots defense. But for the majority of the game, I would not be surprised if we saw Hightower and Van Noy playing off the ball or on the ball, depending on which side of the quarterback the running back lines up with. And so one of them will be responsible for manning the middle of the field. The other one will be asked to cover the running back in the flat.
Nice. I like that. I'm psyched to see David Harris tonight, what he brings to the table. I know they're saying he's a little older, but he's a wily veteran. I think he's really going to thrive in this Patriot system. Luckily, not much longer to wait. We're a little over an hour away from kickoff. I think that the festivities start even before that. They have a lot of trophies to march out, a lot of giant inflatable Lombardis to parade around, a banner to unveil, a whole bunch of former Patriot greats out there to help rein in the new championship. So that, I think, it's time for predictions. Rich, what do you think?
Oh, absolutely. That's a good one. Who gets to go first?
Well, I think you were closer than I was in that coveted third week of the preseason matchup, so I will gladly cede this one to you.
I just wanted you to say that. So the Patriots are the 9-point favorite right now. I support that. I think that the Patriots are going to win this one. I believe that the Patriots offense is strong enough to build up an early lead. The Chiefs offense is not good enough to mount any kind of a comeback. Maybe they'll score a garbage time field goal, touchdown, whatever they want to do at that point in the game where it doesn't really matter. The Patriots should win this one comfortably with all of the talent that they have. I'm going to go Patriots 31-17.
31-17 for the Patriots in the home opener for Rich. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't see the Patriots losing this game for a number of reasons. The only thing I can think of is if they come out of the gate too amped up and somehow manage to shoot themselves in the foot. There's always that game every year they really shouldn't lose but do. But it's not going to be this one. There's just no way. With Roger Goodell in house, with all those blue clown nose towels flopping around, the energy, the excitement, the Lombardi trophies, the championships, just too many things going in New England's favor right now. They're just a better team as well on paper. I think it's going to be closer than that, but maybe because of, you said, the Chiefs tend to keep it close late, so the score doesn't really reflect how out of whack the game is. I think the Patriots won't score that much. I think they'll kind of take some time to build up offensive momentum, but they're still going to win this one. I'm going with 27-20 on a late garbage time touchdown for the Kansas City Chiefs to make it seem closer.
That's a good prediction. I like that. And one more fact that I want to throw out there about the season openers. This has been a tradition for the league since, I believe, the 2004 season. The Patriots were the first one to host that Thursday night game. I believe it was against either the Oakland Raiders or the Denver Broncos. And it's been a tradition ever since. And the home team of the season opener, the home team of the Thursday night season opener has won every single game. And that's important with two notable exceptions. One of them, I believe this was the 2012 season. The Giants and the Cowboys played on Wednesday, and the Cowboys won. And so that doesn't count because it wasn't a Thursday. And then the 2013 season was between the Broncos and the Ravens, but the Ravens were on the road despite winning the previous Super Bowl. And so they actually went to Denver, and Denver won. And so there it is. The home team has won every Thursday night opener since it's become an annual occurrence. And so I think that the Patriots are in a position to keep that going.
Well, if they lose now, you are solely responsible for putting that out into the air. So hopefully you can deal with that kind of guilt if they start 0-1.
That is a clear jinx on my part, and I hope it doesn't come back to bite me. The kickoff is in a little bit. It is in an hour and 15 minutes. Alec, do you have any final thoughts?
I cannot wait to actually be talking about real football with you, Rich. I am excited to do another season with you. It feels like we just started doing this not that long ago, but it's been a fun ride, and let's get banner number 6 up there on Gillette Stadium.
Absolutely. Hopefully everyone's going to remain healthy. Neither team wants to start off the year with any serious injuries, but we'll have all of our content over at patspulpit.com. We'll have a post-game show at facebook.com/patspulpit. We'll be doing a Facebook Live show. And until next time, Alec, you have a good one.
You too, buddy. Go Patriots.